Hey everybody, welcome back to Gamer Book Club. Shout out to Fred.
Oh my
Yeah,
god!
Fred.
Right off the bat.
Yeah, Fred. You got to get it right off the bat. That's one of our number one friends.
Yeah, because he doesn't watch the whole thing.
So it's been a while. It's been about 4 months since a traditional episode of this show. Didn't mean for it to be gone for that long, but basically my own mismanagement of being on top of things, and honestly, Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, and just life stuff got in the way. But we're going back at it full force. We know what we want to do for the next few weeks, so we're bringing this back. But the entire time we were gone, we always had this game the last 4 months as the game we were playing, and that game is Stuntman Ignition, as chosen by Tom. So we all have been playing it over the last few months, but some of us played it over different time frames and forgot about it for a bit and then refreshed our memory. But yeah, this looking forward to episode 4. This is the first Nintendo base or game that's on like a Nintendo console, basically. So a little bit out of the comfort zone, which is a good thing. But let's just start with Tom. Why'd you choose Stuntman Ignition?
Well, I was really itching to play like a racing or driving game, but dear Lord, I don't think anyone in the universe has ever finished one, and I figured we want to play something that is reasonable to finish on this. So I was like, you know what? Stuntman Ignition, perfect game. I've got multiple copies I could share with everyone. Spoilers, I didn't actually share it with anyone. But yeah, I don't know. It's one that I've gone back to a few times and I have good memories with. And I was like, no one else has played it. I want to share it.
Yeah, I remember you showing it to me probably nearly 10 years ago, just like one of those casual games to throw on every now and then, and I would watch you play it. That's about all of my exposure to the game. So that's my, exposure to it, full stop. Other than that, just your recommendation here is the first I've really been able to play it. But what about you, Joe? Have you ever played this game?
I have not. No, I'd heard about it because it was, I guess, one of those games that's overlaps the generation of it's on PS2 and Xbox 360. It's just one of those. But I didn't really know anything about it. Other than that, there's an ignition somewhere, I guess. That's pretty much it.
Yeah. What about you, Toby?
I knew absolutely nothing about this game until I got it working on my PlayStation 2 emulator.
There you go.
Nice.
That's my whole experience with the game.
Hell yeah, supporting those devs as if you could. I unfortunately paid $20 for the digital copy of this game.
Oh, support.
Yeah.
It's
I got it for $5 off eBay, physical copy.
Yeah, I should have done that, but I was like feeling very instant gratification. I was like, I want to play it right now because I was excited, and yeah, I obviously it sat by for a while, so it wasn't the best idea. But now I always have it at least, and I don't even have to pop in a disc. But yeah, so just to go into a little bit of history of the game, this game's actually a sequel. It came out in 2007, and it's actually the original game was called Stuntman, just Stuntman. And it was a PS2 game, and I also don't have any exposure to that game, but yeah, I guess that game did well enough, and the original publishers, greenlit a sequel, but that publishing company fell apart, and then THQ picked this up, and then it's like Paradigm Interactive, I believe, is the ones who ended up developing this game. So this is a sequel, but it has a different publisher and a different developer from the original game, and I didn't really look much into the original game, but it looks a good bit different. It looks like it's trying to focus more on what a stuntman is. This game is right to the action. You're a stuntman driver, very specifically a driver, because you're not a stuntman jumping off buildings or in the Expendables or some other movie that I don't know. But yeah. So do you guys know anything about the original game? Did you look into that at all, or had you even played it, Tom?
I never played it personally, but I've heard a lot about it. Specifically that it's one of the hardest tutorials or first levels ever. It's up there with the original Driver, where like most people never get past it and they just don't play the rest of the game.
Oh my god.
So I think the original game was developed by the Driver team, if my research
Yeah,
was right. So
Well, they don't know.
I do vaguely remember that being a crossover.
yeah, and
God.
the cover art for Stuntman looks like it's trying to be like a little bit more serious. Like I don't know, it looks like it's trying to be a little bit more epic, serious, Fast and Furious style. But this game's more like, I don't know, like here's the stunts and here's some action. I think the cover art is like two cars over or a stuntman car jumping over another car. It feels more, I don't know, gritty, but in a fun way. I don't know. It's very brown.
Yeah, this one, from what I can gather, Stuntman Ignition is a little bit more like arcadey, Need for Speed type driving and everything, where the other one is trying to be a little more like simulation-y. So, and this one's just like, that's why, like, I've never played the first one. I kind of would want to, but I want more of like the style of Ignition, because it really is, like you said, it's just like straight into the action, just all about like good old-fashioned stunts and movies and crazy, set pieces and stuff.
Yeah, and before I was like going to get into like how the game kind of operates, like gameplay wise, and like what that loop is, but like I'll just like introduce like the structure of it first. Like basically there's 6 movies. You're a stuntman. You kind of get like thrown into like a tutorial, but it's like nothing much. Like, hey, you're a stuntman for the first time. Go, it's your first movie, and then like from there, really, you're just doing 6 missions for 6 different movies, 36 levels, and then some extra stuff. The 6 movies are all like parodies of like just very genre fodder kind of styled movies. So the first movie is like a disaster movie where like a volcano is blowing up. The second one is like kind of a Dukes and Hazzard style movie. Strike Force Omega, that's kind of like A-Team, more Rambo styled. Overdrive. What is Overdrive? Though that one's supposed to be like, they even say
the 70s. Spy,
yeah, it's supposed to be 70s,
70s
like
cop thing.
exploitation. It is the 70s one.
Yeah.
I think it's supposed to be more like a Steve McQueen kind of movie or something like that. I don't know, but then there's the last 2 are my favorite. Never Kill Me Again, which is a Bond parody. It was my least favorite one to play, but it is a direct parody of Die Another Day. Even like the director intro is making fun of the director to Die Another Day. The guy who directed Die Another Day, like, basically was like some New Zealand guy who was like, yes, special effects, yes, well, we're going to change the... He doesn't talk like that. But the parody director, they literally were making fun of Die Another Day. And that movie, there's an ice palace, and they race on ice, and it's the same exact car, and clearly you're James Bond, and it's called Never Kill Me Again, which is fun. Hilarious.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And then the last one is Night Avenger, which is literally Batman Begins slash. Oh yeah, awesome. So
Like
we'll
Dark
go into
Knight.
each of those. Yeah, I guess we can go say it now. This game came out in 2007, and all the missions feel like they're exactly taken from a Dark Knight game that doesn't exist, even though the Dark Knight came out in 2008. That's crazy. There's literally you're against the Joker. There's a mission where you're like basically on the it's like basically the Tumblr. It's like, they were really fun missions.
Yeah, the designs are like straight from the Nolan movies.
Literally. And then like you're basically in like the Chicago version of Gotham. But yeah, from there's just like rehearsals, which don't really count as like a chapter of the game, really, if you ask me. Those happen in between, when it's like, okay, you need to learn how to do a reverse 360, or how to do a one-wheeled like spin in the air. And then there's odd jobs, which are kind of just like a shorter challenges where you can't fail even once. So those are the different chapters of the game. In between all those missions, basically, you're given a linear like call out of stunts you need to do for a scene in the movie. They're introduced like kind of a setup for what the scene's going to be, and then they'll be like, time to drift, time to hit the action button, time to drive on one wheel, time to hit this car, to 2 wheels.
Well, if you're doing a wheelie,
there you go.
Pop a wheelie.
Wheelie.
He goes, pop a wheelie.
So
Oh my god.
yeah, that's kind of how the game functions, and you'll get scored based on how many times you did or did not fail, and then how you could string your stunts together. It's very Burnout-esque if you've played Burnout. Like Burnout, you get scored for having near misses on cars, making sure you're always moving on the right path, and making sure those moments. I would say it's like Burnout if you were a stuntman. That's like what it feels the most at, because I kind of grew up with Burnout. But what did you guys like the most about the gameplay? Like Tom, we'll ask you first, since this is a game you like so much. Like, what's your favorite part about it? Just everything.
Well, so every time I play this, I try to do the 5-star string in it for every mission. So I always like how they set up every stunt so that there's like little cones and stuff and people running around, so like you can keep like doing like near misses and getting all the strung points, and trying to like find a good path that takes you by enough stuff to keep the string going but also sets you up for the next stunts is always my favorite thing. And I know there might be some disagreement, but I think it's pretty generous with at least most of the stunts, like a overtake or something like that. Like it's pretty generous with that, so it's not too hard sometimes. But there's a few missions where it's like it's really trying to thread a needle, and I love it. There's some rage, of course, but I love that like perfectionist. Like they kind of set the game up enough so that like anyone can pick it up and play, but perfectionists can really have a lot of fun with it.
I will say, while it could be very frustrating, like you said, and you don't always feel like it's your fault, I will agree it's sometimes generous. Sometimes I feel like it's not. It is really satisfying when you do string the whole thing together. For me, it's almost a little bit too stressful. Like it's like, God damn it, I just failed 2 minutes in, and it's like a 2-minute, 10-second long mission, and I was having the perfect run. But sometimes that's what games are about, the satisfaction of like, well, okay, I'll do it again, and maybe this will be the run. There is a great amount of satisfaction in that. Sometimes it's frustrating though, because it'll be like drift, and it's like, I swear I drifted. Like I really think I drifted, but it says I didn't.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Or a 180, and like sometimes
The 180s
like,
are never ever.
You need to make sure full gas and then only use the handbrake. That's what I do. Like use the momentum, and then that's what I do. At least.
I have a couple videos that are a little spotty that I recorded on my Xbox. I don't know, man.
As long as you're drifting in the right direction at all within that box, it usually counts. But if you hit like anything, and it doesn't let those tires slide even slightly, then it just screws up.
But like you're saying, the inverse, there's been reverse 360s where it does not look like a reverse three. It's not a reverse 360. I just didn't do it. And
I agree.
Good job, you did it.
Yeah, I think they're just like, yeah, that shit's hard. We'll just give them the benefit of the doubt.
Just give it to you. Yeah, whatever.
That actually, that's one thing I wanted to ask you guys. Did you play at all to make it look good as if it were in a movie, or did you just purely objectively go for getting the stunts, getting the marks, and getting the mission done?
I thought it was interesting how like that worked, because like stringing it is very satisfying. Like I think there was 3 missions where I got it like really, really good. I felt like awesome about it. But at the same time, in like us with like what the game like is showing you at the very beginning, with like, this is a stuntman, you're trying to do all these things, you can't miss anything. It almost feels like I think I want to ask, would the scoring be more fun if the star rating was entirely based on how many, like your lack of how many misses you had and how fast you did it?
I feel like speed doesn't matter that much, because I do think generally like there's going to be those moments where, if you don't do it in those 3 seconds, you're not going to make it anyways. So your time wouldn't really matter that much.
Would you have liked the scoring better if it was like that?
I don't think so.
I feel like...
I think they... Oh, go ahead.
I was just saying, I feel like it's almost like 2 different kinds, because like if I'm just trying to beat it for the first time and unlock the next mission and worry about my like star rating later, I'm only worried about the strikes. But then once I'm trying to delve deeper and complete it and string it and maybe get 4 stars instead of 5, because 5 you could only string it, then I'm worried more about it. It's a little stressful. Yeah, maybe they could have done scoring differently, but basically stringing it means you had a perfect run. So I mean, I guess if that's the only way to get 5-star, then 5 stars out of 5 is perfect. So
you can still miss objectives though and still string it.
Yeah, you can get nearly to the point of failure, but if you string it, like, you still get the 5
like
stars.
that I'm
which is kind of weird.
That's a little weird to me. I like stringing it is fun, but I don't think it should be the thing that determines your star rating.
Yeah, I kind of wish, and you can feel like a lot of games nowadays they try to make everything like so seamless, but like you could kind of feel like the behind the scenes code running at some points in this game, where like it's just like, oh, you did the thing, but like looking back at it, it's like, wow, that if that was in a movie, that would never be the take they go with because it looks awful.
The reverse 360.
Yeah, like I kind of wish they made another one and could kind of like put more effort into making it so that the scoring and everything was based more on like how smooth everything was, rather than just like, did you string it or did you not miss a stunt entirely?
Yeah, I like that idea because, like, I was at the end of the game, I was trying to get a few more 5 stars. Actually, I ended up doing it, but I was trying to unlock the Night Avenger because the James Bond one pissed me off so bad. And I was going back through the old ones, and I mean, I was doing everything right, but it's like, yeah, you get like 3 stars, and that's pretty much it. And it's like, it's weird to me that like, if you do an objective, that's fine, but like, if you drive next to 5 traffic cones, like, oh, that's the ticket right there. You get so many points
and seats.
Yeah, you get so many points for driving by 5 traffic cones, and I'm like,
yeah,
is that? Yeah, it's just like, I like the idea of stringing it, but I don't know if it should be the focus. But
maybe it could be like a. No, you go, Toby.
Okay, I was gonna say maybe they can kind of like rank you on a bunch of different things you do throughout the stunt. I guess like maybe have like a ranking for smoothness.
Yeah, that would be
how many like stunts you can pull off.
Yeah, and I think if they did make a second one or a third one at some point, they could probably do something like that because that would be really cool. And then they could do, because you could record video, you could put your actual like recordings in the movie, I guess, or something.
Well, that I think you actually can like save your replays and then like watch the scene.
Oh,
with
really?
Your actual recorded. Yeah.
Yeah, you can watch
like upload
your
them back in the
gameplay.
day.
You can watch your like cinematic version of your gameplay, which is cool.
Oh, I did
like
not
the
know
way
that.
the way that's pretty cool for like a 16-year-old game to like have that built into it. But
I did not
it's
see
kind
that.
of ahead of its time. That and Halo, it's like, oh yeah, you could save replays of stuff. Like, who knew?
I do have a quick question on the saving stuff. Are you only able to save like one replay of your like one of your stunts? Because I think I tried saving like multiple like different, I guess, runs that I had, but I think I could only save one somehow unless I did something wrong. But
well, I don't know about the PS2 version, but with the 360 version, it was for each mission or whatever, you could have multiple saves, and it would generate auto saves, like your best time or your best score, I mean, and then if you strung it, I think it saves it automatically.
okay.
But
we could be running into like
I don't
version
know.
differences too, because I played on 360. I imagine Tom and Joe played on 360. PS2. I wonder if there was like differences in saving the replays. I have no idea, but
Yeah.
That might be one of the limitations then, because I had a couple I wanted to say because I ran into a couple glitches and I wanted to save.
Oh,
them,
nice.
Oh.
save.
oh, really? I didn't really have very many glitches.
I did have the game crash on me once. I have no idea why
That-
though. So
I
That's
had mine.
probably a backwards compatibility thing.
Yeah, for sure. They don't test a lot of these games on Series X. Like a lot of
Yeah,
them
I
you
would
play
have to
them and you're
imagine.
like, and a lot of them you play, you're like, oh my god, did anyone try this? It's really bad.
yeah, I have to
But
imagine.
yeah, no. I think I crossed the finish line on one of the stunts, and it crashed one time for me. But
Interesting.
I
Yeah.
had a video of it, but it doesn't look as funny as it did when it actually happened.
Yeah, going back to what you said, Tom, I will say that I did not really care about like the quality of what it would look like from like watching a movie. I was like, whatever gets it done.
Yeah.
Because I was looking at it more like an arcadey game, not like trying to not immerse myself, I guess, but really imagine like it was going to be in a movie. Because I don't know, like it goes far enough with it, but it's basically just an avenue for you to do fun missions. Not really like doesn't care that much about that, but it does enough. They show you the movie trailers when you finish the movie, and they give you the director intros, which are fun too. But and I think like that's enough. Like I didn't need more than that, but I also didn't care that much about like engrossing myself into that. But Toby, I didn't ask you what was your favorite part of the gameplay.
I think I'm breaking up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was
Who did
breaking up a little bit.
who did you ask, and what did you ask?
Okay, is it running better now? Can you hear me?
It might.
Yeah, I can hear
yeah,
you.
we can hear you.
Okay. Might do this audio only. Toby, what's your favorite part of like the gameplay and like just the gameplay cycle, what the missions are like, and just playing the game in general? Like, what was your general experience of that?
Well, generally speaking, I definitely think this game is very unique. Like, I wouldn't say there's many games quite like this. Well, I haven't played Burnout Paradise, so I guess from what you said, it seems like they're somewhat similar. But
Burnout Paradise is the least like the games that came before it, but yeah, very challenge based. That's how like the first 3 Burnouts are.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah,
I would also say the game's unique.
yeah, it's again, I think what Tom mentioned earlier, it's definitely fun to try to get 5 stars, if not a little stressful. But I did I guess this isn't too big of an issue if you like to play through these stunts like multiple times, but I do feel like whenever you're trying to go through these the first time, there's definitely a lot of trial and error involved. Like I guess as a quick little example, sometimes if you're like driving and there's like a car to your right, and then the director tells you to pass to the right, but you're like on the left side, and it's like, oh no, I gotta pass to the right, so now I gotta like swerve over to try to pass
That's
to the
like
right.
it's like those memes about the shitty GPS where it's like go left in 400 inches or whatever, and it's like oh, and then you have to go left.
Yeah.
Stop.
Definitely had
Reverse.
that happen. It definitely had that happen.
Yeah.
Especially that's why like for me the first run through of a mission was more like I want to see it to the end, so I get like an idea and then like a bank of what each specific stunt is supposed to be that's going to be called out, and then from there, but like fuck this part of the game. From there, I would try to get the 5 stars. I realize you guys can't see my video anymore, but it was that part you have to boost 3 times on the James Bond area.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
That whole level
one
sucked.
Was that the ice area or?
oh yeah.
Yeah, it's where you're like driving. I think I don't remember exactly. I think it's the one where like there's a lot of driving on the ice, and then the end you have to like do 3 boosts, and it's so slippery if you're not lined up.
Yes.
From
Oh
the
my
get-go.
God.
And I've had it where I failed after like the ending like slow motion like jump, and it's like I would go just outside where you need to land or whatever, and it's like gotta do it again.
That one's rough because you also have to follow a car, and some of the Night Avenger has the one where you have to follow the mayor, and it's very like you can't slow down at all, or else you're gonna fall too far behind, and it'll fail you. And that ice one, I was getting that a lot. But.
Yeah.
Isn't the ice one as well? I was gonna quickly just say for the last little bit we had to boost.
No, you can talk, Toby. You're good.
Sometimes if I was just like 0.1 second too slow, like the snow will be falling and my view will be like blocked, and I couldn't even see where I was going. So then I was just like boosting straight into a wall after the ice like finished falling over. I was like, oh crap, well, I screwed up.
Yeah, I guess
it's good.
I was gonna say, yeah, I guess since we're talking about it, like we could just say, like, was there anything that was like more so frustrating? I know we talked about the score system. For me, it's probably this James Bond set of missions where, you know, if 1 out of 6 of the movies you're driving on ice exclusively, I don't know, like the controls just weren't built for it, and it's just too tough sometimes because it's a game about like moment to moment doing exactly what you need to do, what they're calling out, and you know, unless you are memorizing the level, you're gonna have to play it a ton just to get the exact inputs correct because you're running on ice. But was there anything that frustrated you guys more than anything?
Specifically, I think it would have to be the first level of Night Avenger, where the Oscar or whatever. No, it's not Oscars. Oh my god, I just remembered. I'll come back to that. The award shot, like you have to like shoot the helicopter, then jump through the gap of the helicopter. That fucked me up like 9 times out of 10 on that.
Yeah.
Run. Oh my god.
There's stuff in this. You know what's crazy is there's stuff in this that, like, it is very frustrating, but like, there's a lot of very earned difficulty as well, because there's the one with the delivery van, the commercial, and
I love that
you
one.
have to do it opens. You have to do the barrel roll, and like I probably did like 5 or 6 tries where I'm not even thinking about it. I did it, and then I like went and like ate something, and then I came back, and then I tried to do it again, and I was overthinking it. Yes, shout out Joe Eats. I was overthinking it, and like I couldn't do it anymore. It was like, oh, why can't I do it? Oh my god! And it was like I was just in my own head about it. It was like very strange. Like,
yeah, a lot of that, like anything that involves the rotation of the car, you just kind of have to feel it. You can't think it through too much. Like the barrel rolls or riding on 2 wheels.
Oh yeah.
Oh god, there were so many times where I would just go off of the thing with like a ramp with the 2-wheel thing and just screw everything up.
In the James Bond level, I just fucking skip those. And then there's the one part in the James Bond level where it's like it's like a minute and a half into the attempt where you have to do it to get across that bridge, and I just like slowed the fuck down. I'm like,
Oh my god,
I gotta line this up.
oh god.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we're gonna have this epic action scene. It's gonna look great. Audiences are gonna love it.
I'm not fucking doing it.
Man just didn't do it. Yeah.
I'm not fucking doing it.
I'm not fucking doing
It's
it.
too hard.
I'm not fucking doing it.
Yeah, there were some that I would ignore, but kind of going into it, I liked doing the odd jobs because it made you have no choice. You have to do every single one, and that was very satisfying. And a lot of them weren't as long, so it's like a Super Meat Boy kind of approach where it's like, give me a really hard challenge, but as long as I can reset very soon after, then no worries. So I really enjoyed them. I wish there were more of them, but it's
I was about to say that.
It's kind of a prelude to like go make your own, because they're kind of like in like one of them is in like those like constructor area, but I didn't make any of my own levels. But did you guys like the basically challenge mode, the odd jobs?
Oh yeah,
I really did. Actually, I kind of want to ask. I want to ask I guess 2 questions, well, maybe 3. First one, what was your favorite movie to do, like as a game? Second question, what movie would you pick to be made in real life? And third question, what was your overall favorite part of the game?
Okay.
I guess I'll go first.
Yeah.
Just my favorite, and you guys are gonna think I'm insane for saying this, but I think my favorite movie like to play was probably the James Bond one. Mostly because of like all the
you're good at
references
driving
to,
games, so
yeah, I guess I mean, I don't want to brag too much, but I think I might be the best at driving games.
I would agree. Not Mario Kart, baby, 4th place.
That's not a driving game. That's a cock and ball torture game.
Oh, CBT.
But I loved all like the references to I guess what were at the time the newest James Bond movies, like Carson was saying, Die Another Day. And like the cars are like 1-to-1 what the movies were like, and it was just like really cool to be like, oh yeah, I'm James Bond.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with you. Not to stop you, but yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
No, I was saying like I agree 100%.
Oh yeah. The one that I think I would want to be made into a movie would probably be, what is it, Overdrive or whatever, the 70s cop one. Just because, like, there's been, like, I've seen a few, like, cool, like, at least, like, set in the 70s movies. The Other Guys, I just watched recently. Or,
yeah.
no. The Nice Guys, that's what it is.
I've always want to see that.
I watched that recently, and I was like, this is a lot of fun, but, like, a lot of them don't have, like, big, like, action-y chase scenes and stuff, but it'd be cool to see one with a whole bunch of chases.
It's such a rare thing in movies now, or like real action. Like,
yeah,
I mean,
like,
Mission Impossible and stuff, but I'm talking
shaky
like
cam.
that used to be why you went to the movies, is like you wanted to see those big stunts and big action. But I'm not trying.
Yeah. There were like a bunch of movies for a while that had like real stunts, like Mad Max Fury Road is kind of the one that everyone talks about. Like, it was just like a big long chase sequence. And then I think my favorite part of the game,
I loved it
overall, was the Odd Jobs, and specifically the Armor All tie-in was hilarious to me. That's my favorite product placement in any game ever, because it's literally just in your face, like, yes, this is a commercial, but you're making the commercial, and that's just hilarious to me.
I really like that too. Yeah, so I guess we'll just go around the horn. I'll start. So you said it was a favorite movie, which one you want to see in a movie, and then your favorite part of the game.
Yeah.
My favorite movie, honestly, like the first four, fucking headphone plugged out. God fucking damn it. We're good. It didn't stop my recording. The first four are kind of like, they're just so of like a specific like genre that they're kind of generic-ish. Like Aftershock, Hoopin' and Holler, and Strike Horse Omega Overdrive. Like, they're good. My favorite two were James Bond and Night Avenger, but just because I like James Bond and Batman a lot. So it's like those catered to me more because, I was like, holy shit, I'm playing a Dark Knight game that never came out. And I was like, this is awesome.
Yeah.
And then, I don't know if any of you guys played Nightfire console version, but there's also an ice level with a car very similar that was supposed to be kind of a tie-in to Die Another Day. There's even a Die Another Day trailer in Nightfire. So yeah, you're absolutely right, Tom. Like, it is so like 1-to-1 how faithful they were to making Die Another Day, and I was like, how did they do this? Like,
Yeah.
So it's probably a toss-up. I'd probably go Night Avenger just because, like, I'm playing a Nolan game that never came out, so I thought that was really fun. What one would I want to see it become a movie? It's like some of them are just so close to home that like they basically are movies. But I guess like Hoopin' and Hollerin', just because that director was like so like I'm making a movie. And I'd love if people like that were in Hollywood. Well, give that guy a budget. Give that guy $50 million. Go make Hoopin' and Hollerin' 2. Release it. I'd watch it.
Where's Michael Bay?
Where
What's
is
he up
Michael
to?
Bay? Didn't he make L.A. or something? Ambulance? Ambulance?
I don't know. That was like a half joke.
I
I don't know if he's still around.
MULANs. That sounds about right.
But yeah, I already said basically that my favorite part of the game was the Odd Jobs, but it was also that Armor All commercial that was really fun.
Mm-hmm.
It was so satisfying to like see your car get cleaned, and you're like, oh sweet, and you're like, fuck the movie, I want to make commercials. But yeah, also that one roller coaster level and the Batman level. So all of those were like highlights. It was a very fun game. I didn't really dive into the multiplayer too much or the construction kind of stuff. So a little bit of an incomplete opinion, but I'll be curious if you guys played that stuff. I'll ask that after. But yeah, Joe can go on the questions now.
I have to think about the order. It would be Batman, Batman, Batman.
Okay.
Nice.
That's pretty simple.
Nice. I would like to see someone make a Nolan movie, but like a knockoff Batman Nolan movie.
Yes. I do want to throw this in there that the composer for this game also worked on one of my favorite other superhero games, Marvel Ultimate Alliance. and one of the songs in there is in the first Batmobile level, like the fifth level in
Really?
Night Avenger. Yeah, it's just the same. It's the same song from this one part in Ultimate Alliance 3 where you have to you're in Asgard and you have to like beat up a bunch of giants and stuff.
It's in Ultimate Alliance
that the-
3?
No, it's in 1. It's the one. That
Oh,
came out in
I thought you said
2005.
3. I don't know why I thought
No,
you said 3.
he took the song and then he put it in this game, and that game was developed by Activision. This one's THQ, so it's just the composer I guess owns it. So
Yeah,
Is
he
that
must
the,
just be the
the
owner.
music related thing you were talking about
Yeah.
before we started?
yeah.
Oh, really? Because
Yeah.
real quick, my music related thing, like Carson said earlier, he kind of referenced Fast and Furious.
Mm-hmm.
The title screen, like the start screen song, is Mustang Nismo, which is from Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift.
Oh.
And they were like, apparently, like they weren't sure if they would get the rights to the song, so they hired some person to write a song that sounds almost identical to Mustang Nismo as a backup.
Oh wow.
It was driving me nuts because Kat and I watched all the Fast and Furious movies together, and I recognized the song from the end credits on Tokyo Drift. And I was like, oh my god, that's a song from one of my favorite games. And I went and looked it up to like make sure, but all the songs on YouTube are like this alternate song that never got put in the game. And I'm like, why do people care about this? I want to hear the actual song.
That's
Come
weird.
on.
Yeah,
it's really
I actually
strange.
I saw that. I didn't understand it. I was doing my research and I saw somebody said this song, like the unused version, is like in one of these YouTube videos, I guess. Interesting. Well, I figured that out because I have some tism, and immediately I'm playing
Hell
the level.
yeah, brother.
I'm playing the level and I'm driving and I hear "Stop human! Stop the humans!" from the game. And I'm like, oh, why am I hearing
Well.
that? Oh yeah, of course. And I knew exactly where it was from.
Oh my god.
It's that tism hidden.
Oh yeah, it's not very hidden.
That's
hit.
amazing.
Not hidden.
Oh, that's great. Oh my goodness. Well, you guys will have to send me links to that after, because I'm so curious. Like, I think like Easter eggs like that are really fun.
Oh yeah, I've never and usually it's like the publisher is the same. If I ever see something like that, but I've never heard like the Activision game with this composer the composer reused his music in this game by a different publisher. But
Yeah, I
it's
guess.
kinda
I guess
like,
does he own the song? Like, I'm just curious. Is that how
Yeah,
it
he
works?
must.
Or
He
maybe there's
must,
different
yeah.
deal. They probably cut different deals. It's like, hey, I'm making the song for you. You get to use it, but you don't own it. I don't know.
yeah, and I always
me of Reanimator and Psycho. They're like the same song, I think.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's
Well,
just like
Reanimator came out.
composers just like are like, I'll just fart out one of my old songs, change the octave a little.
Fart. not to keep on this point too long, but now I'm starting to wonder if there's other songs in the game that are from other games. So now I'm gonna have to. Oh,
I was gonna be
Christ.
honest with you. Like, if I asked about the music, I'd have been like, most of the music's very, very standard. It's like exactly what you'd expect, but not in a bad way. But it's like,
I wonder
you know,
if it's exactly what you expect because it is from all this other
Yeah.
stuff. Like that'd be kind of funny.
I mean, that I will say the Asgard song. It's pretty good. It's really good actually. Like that's always been one of my favorite songs in Marvel Ultimate Alliance. So I was happy, and it fit well because it's like a very similar vibe, I guess, like to a big superhero movie. But
yeah.
I'll send it.
All right.
yeah. So Toby, what was your favorite movie? The movie you would want to see, and your favorite part of the game?
Okay, don't hate me for this, but I never actually end up finishing the Batman movie. So
Oh my god, I'm so mad.
You're off the channel. You're off the channel. You're just gonna walk off screen.
okay,
That's gonna be clickbait. I'm gonna change the
Oh, I'm
thumbnail
trying to-
format.
how
And
do
I'm
I-
gonna be
I'm
like,
really bad.
Toby kicked off channel.
Yeah. So I guess unfortunately, since I didn't play that movie, I guess I would say my favorite movie. I would maybe just say like Hootin' and a Hollerin', because I guess this kind of goes with. I'm gonna kind of answer the third question a little bit, but I know you guys said like you like the odd jobs a lot, but something I really liked about the game was I thought the directors were always like really funny to listen to.
Yeah,
all, like,
they really are.
Like all the dumb stuff they say, especially the Hootin' and Hollerin' directors.
Yeah.
The Stuntman narrator, though, fucking boring as hell. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
man.
I mean,
What?
he has like talk about.
To be fair, you kind of need it to be like
Yeah.
reliable. Like just
Yeah.
I kind of skipped them towards the end. I started skipping them a lot.
Oh, I did skip them a lot.
Yeah, I felt like his descriptions never helped me a whole lot, honestly. At the end of the day, so yeah.
Nah.
But yeah, let's see. When it comes to movies I would watch, I guess I would say Hootin' and Hollerin' as well, because again, he
Yeah.
just seems really funny out of all of them.
Toby's a country boy. We got to show you Dukes of Hazzard.
All right, can't wait to see that.
We'll watch the
Yeah.
2004 like reboot. That's what next time we're hanging out. We're watching the Dukes and Hazzard with Owen Wilson.
That would actually be a fun movie night. Just watch like all the movies that inspired the mission.
Hell yeah!
Oh.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Aftershock is Dante's Peak, which is a Pierce Brosnan movie, and Never Kill Me Again is Die Another Day, which is a Pierce Brosnan movie. So
Wait,
I'm there.
What's I thought Aftershock was like
That Jake Gyllenhaal
oh
movie.
no, what is it? Armageddon? But that's
Armageddon's
that's
like a space
uh,
movie.
meteor or something,
Yeah.
right?
I thought it was a
I always-
space movie, but I guess I'm wrong. Aftershock is
Aftershock-
specifically about a volcano, like, and so is Dante's Peak. But
Yeah.
that's what my reading said. But I did that. What is what I thought about first was Dante's Peak. So
It reminded me of that
Well, yeah.
movie in Tropic Thunder at the beginning with the volcano.
Oh, there's a movie just called Volcano from 1997.
oh boy.
Wow. What's it about?
You know, I don't know. We're gonna have to watch it.
Hell yeah. Well, we'll let you guys know how movie day with all the directors go. I'm talking to people watching. But yeah, so all of our favorite parts. I love those questions, Tom. Facilitating some good discussion. Did you guys get all of the stars? And like, whenever you get stars, there's like that bar on the right that kind of ranks you, and it tells you like how many you have left until you have all of them. Did you do that, and do you know what that even does?
I have before, so I'm gonna be honest. With all like the schedule and mishmash and stuff going on for the 4 months that we had to play this,
I'm sorry.
I I kind of played it on and off, and I was like finishing. Like once we had a date set, I was like, okay, I guess I'll finish all of them now. But I didn't actually get to it. But I have done it before. You just get like a little cutscene that's like, "Congratulations, you're the best stuntman in the business," or blah, 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 and that's it.
Yeah, it does seem like it probably didn't take very long to make this game. They were very resourceful with the assets. Like for every single movie, I bet they made like one base environment, basically, and then reused it as much as you could. Even some of the missions, it was like, all right, in the one mission, you were the good guys. Now it's the same scene, but you're the bad guys.
Yeah, I did
yeah.
kind of like that though.
I did like
It
that
makes
too. It was
sense.
neat.
It
It's
makes
neat.
sense.
But at the same time, I was like, if it's happening at the same time, wouldn't there be a different stuntman? Maybe that's for they could have done a dual release like Pokemon, like Stuntman Ignition and
Oh my
Stuntman,
God.
Stuntman
Oh,
Ambition. And then you're playing as the other one. I don't know.
Stuntman
stupid.
ambition.
Yeah, that's
God.
from
Oh my God.
it's your first movie and you want to be in Mission Impossible, so Stuntman Ambition. Yeah, I'm really sorry,
Don't
but
give him
yeah,
any ideas.
I didn't get all the stars. I imagine Joe and Toby, you guys didn't either.
Nope.
How many? What was your final tally that was left? I have 21 left.
Oh
I
my,
can
me
certainly do
too.
better. Really?
I have, I think 12 left.
Yeah,
'Cause there are 2 missions I didn't get to in Night Avenger.
I want to keep playing this and eventually whittle down on all of these, but it is one of those things where it's like, if I get a string in it, I'm like, all right, cool. I'm not gonna make myself pissed on the next one. So, do you remember how many you ended up with, Toby?
I don't think I've touched this game for like a month now, so I don't remember. I don't remember how many.
Hey,
stars I have
that's my
anymore.
fault. Don't worry. Don't worry. Yeah, so that's pretty much like everything that you do in the career. It's a very linear but like easy to understand. Like you play the first mission, other than like learning how to do like a reverse 360 and a corkscrew and all that kind of stuff. Like the game is what it is, and it's nice in that way because you learn it and you don't have to be intimidated by learning so many new things each movie or every other mission. So the game is consistent and knows what it wants to do, and you keep doing that. So if you like it, then you're gonna enjoy the game the whole time. But there is a multiplayer and there is like a construction area where you can make your own levels. I played the multiplayer like by myself just to see what it even was once, but I didn't play it with anybody, and I didn't touch the construction mode once either. I'm not very creative with that kind of stuff. But you do unlock stuff by ranking better in the missions for that mode, from what I understand. Did you guys play that? I'll ask Toby first, just to change up the order. Did you make a level, Toby, or is that even in the PS2 version?
I think it is, but I never really touched it. I pretty much only did the story mode thing. Like the only thing I did outside of that was just watch this one cutscene constantly with like Arnold Schwarzenegger going like, "Welcome to the Stuntman Award."
Yeah.
We're getting to that. We're saving that. Keep
Hell
that
yeah.
thought.
No,
Keep
but
that thought.
I guess I'll quickly just mention that I watched it so much because when I first started running the game on the PlayStation 2 emulator, it wouldn't run very well. Well, the menu would run fine, but once I got into the actual like stunts themselves, the game ran like really slow.
Yeah.
So I thought an easy way to just kind of debug, I guess, was to just use the Arnold Schwarzenegger Stuntman Award movie, and
Really? That's so interesting.
because that movie would also like glitch up a bunch when it started playing. So
Oh.
eventually found out how to get like the right stats just by watching a random YouTube video that also used the PlayStation 2 emulator, and they just randomly wrote like some of the settings they had in the description, and I put it in, and it finally worked. So
Oh, nice.
Oh.
Toby,
PS2
I have to
emulator.
honor you for the commitment that you made to make this game work.
yeah, I don't have an Xbox, and I know the Xbox, I think 360 and PlayStation 3 emulators aren't the best, really, or like they're really hard to run on PC, I think.
Yeah,
so.
apparently in
yeah.
Europe, this game came out on mobile, but I did not look up anything on it because I have to imagine it's completely different. So, especially 2007 mobile, it was probably like a 5 frames a second, like top-down game. I'd be
Yeah.
curious to check that out, but yeah. What about you, Joe? Did you play through the construction mode of the multiplayer at all?
I did not, but I mean, do you get to like use the Batmobile? Do you know?
I don't know.
So, I guess I'll just go.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
I have played around with it in the past, especially. And it's basically you're in the arena that you do like the live stunt shows in.
Mm-hmm.
And like where you have to drive and drift on the ice and hit the boxes and
Oh,
stuff.
fuck that part too.
I know Joe loved that.
I
Hit them all.
Can he hit
hit
them
'em
all?
Get them all.
Down to,
But yeah,
on the truck, down to the ice below. I heard that probably 35 times.
I did that on my 6th try or so. I went just to see how bad it was, and I did it. I was like, Joe's a pussy.
Dude, the 180 at the end, I'm telling you, man, I have some videos. It's suspect. It's like I'm on the line, but I'm not outside the box, and it says no. It says that's not a 180.
You do
Yeah.
it.
And I said, I don't know about that. I think that was a 180. Thank you.
Yeah, anything with like turning around, like a reverse 180 sometimes just doesn't want to work, and yeah, it's
Yeah, I mean, you try it again. I think the only one that frustrated me deep was like when it was like deep into a level was the 2 wheels on the James Bond one, because you had to do that. Like you had to.
yeah.
That was the only one.
Yeah. Do you know like there was no like Super Mario Maker-esque like you could make your own levels and upload them on the internet kind of style to making your own levels, right? Obviously, it's too
I-
behind.
I think you could. actually. I know you could make levels and save them. Now, it didn't look as elaborate and, like, you know, with, like, the trim and everything, like, to make a building look like a building, but you could make, like, big metal, like, structures that you could, like, jump onto the roof or whatever. And I would play around a lot when I was younger. I would just, like, put a giant ramp, and then you could use cheats and give yourself, like, infinite boosts. And I would just, like, spam Y and go off of a giant ramp and jump across the whole arena and just do crap like that for, like, hours.
That stuff's pretty
But
cool.
yeah, but other than that, like, I don't think you can place like stunts that you need to do, like the box, like the yellow stunts that you have to do. I don't think you could put those down. I don't know exactly though.
That stinks. But, you know, basically, I know I didn't really dive deep into it, but I have to imagine it would be extremely hard to make your own mission that was anything close to like what was already created. So, but it's definitely probably something fun to play around with. There's also the quick fix mode, which is pretty much just freestyle and hanging around. Did you guys play with that very much?
No,
I think
but-
I noticed that was a thing and then didn't do much with it.
Yeah, it's nothing crazy. So, yeah, that's pretty much everything in the game. One point I wanted to bring up before we go into the extras, which, you know, we'll talk about a special little video. I think the most interesting part about this game is that in modern day video gaming, the mid-tier game is dead. It's either a AAA game or it's an indie game, mostly. But back in 2007, when this game came out, you saw a lot more kind of games like this where, you know, a publisher was like, yeah, you know, this is a fun idea. We'll just get a development team, throw it together, put a game together. This game could not have taken very long to make, if I'm guessing, like not longer than a year. Certainly is my guess. I've never made a game, but I'm pretty sure I saw that it was like announced in 2006 and it started development in 2005. So
Yeah, it says in 2005 there's confirmation that they were going to start working on one, and then 2006 it was like it started. It
Yeah.
was like,
but I miss, you know, back in my day, like I miss, you know, when there was mid-tier games like this that came out, like, but I feel like for the most part now it's like everybody's waiting for whatever the next big AAA game is, or people are talking about like indie gems. But there aren't as, like, publishers used to release games like this that were, you know, and a fun idea. It didn't have to be the biggest thing in the world. It didn't have to have a ton of money behind it. And I kind of miss this era of gaming where games like this came out. You could say I'm off base, but what do you guys think? Like, do you agree with me on that?
I totally agree. This is like, especially like, so I'm the only one that had this as a kid. Me and like my cousins, like around Thanksgiving and stuff, we would like play this forever because it's the perfect like handoff game where you just hand off the controller to everyone. You know, you'd all do a level or take a try at a level or two. And even if you weren't playing, it was a lot of fun to watch. And it was like this game that even if it released at full price, like full $60, you get like a lot of value out of it, depending on how you play it. And it, like, nowadays, if this released, the only way something like this would get made is if it's like an indie game or something, or if a publisher just like kind of had assets that they're sitting on and they just like sit a team on it and release it for like $40.
Yeah.
But that never happens.
I think the thing is that there still are some games like this, but they're just not very good. Like,
Yeah.
if you go through the Game Pass library, there's a lot of mid-tier games on there, and they're all like just not very good.
They're not dead. I get dead's like the wrong way to put it, but it's
They're
just
not-
a different landscape for how we acquire games that, like, you know, they're a lot of your eyeballs are gonna, is it on the Steam page or is it on Game Pass, or, you know, if a game like this came out right now, you wouldn't see it on a store shelf. But that's how it was 16 years ago. You know, you go to Walmart and be like, "Oh, Stuntman Ignition, that game seems cool." I guarantee this game didn't come out for $50. Maybe it did, But if it came out for 30 or 40, that's a little bit easier to convince your mom, and you're like, that game looks fun, and that's how those kind of things happen. But I don't know, mid tier, it's not like it's not dead, but it's just this certainly feels from a different era. And I also wanted to say, Tom, like the handoff thing it was a note I had just quick. This would be like a great multiplayer game, like just be like, hey, you try it, me try it, Toby try it, Joe try it, and whoever finishes the mission, like, hey, good for you, the other people suck. Like
yeah, exactly. We just did something. It was me, Steve, Toby, and PJ the other night. We just were playing Mafia 1 Definitive Edition, and just every mission we'd hand off to someone else, and it was like, you just don't see that anymore. And I think there's a few reasons why, and a few reasons why something like this will never get a sequel. Like, the internet is just so prevalent. Everyone would be looking up reviews and stuff, and if anyone sees that a game isn't like a 40-hour game if you do everything, or if it gets like below an 8, anything like that, people aren't going to buy it. People
absolutely
don't really have that like sit down and hand off experience anymore. Like when we did Mafia, it was the first time in ages, and probably the last time for a long time as well, just because like no one really gets together like that much, and if you do, you usually end up doing something else rather than committing to a game for that long. And I don't know if that's our age or just like the gaming environment we're in.
It's definitely mostly our age, because like, that was all I gave a shit about when I was that age was, Thanksgiving. It's time to play.
Well, I'm not going to say like I disagree with you, but I do think modern gaming, they dislike that idea because they want everyone to own the game and be playing it on their house at their computer, because that's 4 people buying it instead of 1. And I'm not, I'm just being completely honest.
Or they want to have like
couch,
do it for free and do microtransactions or whatever. Like
those games certainly exist though, but
it's not dead. Like it's very
dead's a very it's being used a little loosely, but it's certainly not what it was.
I think we can all agree, like when we're saying it's dead in the AAA like game that you would find in Target kind of genre of things, like it's dead. Like you kind of have to go to the indie scene for a lot of this stuff.
Or
Would
Nintendo.
You agree with that? Or Nintendo.
Yeah, I mean, even that.
What do you think, Toby? Like where this sits as like a mid-tier game, and like just the kind of landscape of it in general.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I definitely feel like a lot of the big companies are not quite willing to be as experimental nowadays compared to what they were back then. Or I guess if they are, then like a lot of these small companies will get like bought out by these big companies. So maybe something like that. I don't know.
And what sucks is that's a problem in all media, not just video games.
Yeah, everything's kind of like these bigger studios just like devouring and cannibalizing all the smaller studios that they would have. I mean, even like, okay, we're talking about this game, and you just said in other industries, the movies in the game wouldn't even be made these days because they're like these weird, like specific genre like things that don't have like this mass appeal. But like studios like Disney or Warner Brothers, they just like keep buying up all these studios, and instead of like retaining them and having them make these like weird kind of movies like you see in the game, instead they just kind of cannibalize them, take the rights and the IPs, and then like fire everyone that worked there, or they put them on other projects. And the same. Especially with like EA and the game side of things, like if a game slightly doesn't do well enough, that I don't know, developer just gets shut down.
No, that's what I was gonna say.
Does that.
With the mid games, like I was saying on the Game Pass ones, like I'm not gonna be surprised if like Saints Row it gets added to there like next week, because that game sold like shit, nobody liked it. And the studio's done now, like it's gone.
Yeah,
and like stuff like BioWare's next probably, unfortunately.
Oh yeah,
but like, with the internet too, you get when Saints Row is bad, like everybody knows Saints Row's bad. It's like done,
Yeah.
So,
I guess The only way we'd get something like this these days from like a major developer would be if it got rushed like hell, everyone got overworked, it came out as a buggy mess that no one bought and got shit reviews, and then slowly got fixed over like 3 years, and then the studio got shuttered and you could buy it for $30.
Yeah.
That's kind of where things went. Instead of just having a game that is fine, like, and to be clear, I don't think this is a bad game at all. I don't think it's an amazing game. I think it's exactly what it needs to be. To get a game like that these days, it's like this multi-stage process that takes half a decade if you're lucky, where meanwhile, like back in the day, a game could just be released in that state and it was fine. And like,
for sure.
And to be fair, from to modern studios, from what I understand, it's probably takes 3 or 4 times the amount of budget and like actual time and manpower to make games than it used to. But the people actually funding these games want higher and higher scope, bigger and bigger scope. Every game needs to be cyberpunk. And obviously I'm joking a little bit when I say that, but since the big games out there are Elden Ring and Tears of the Kingdom and stuff like that, the people who are going to cut money to a development studio, they're going to want a game that I don't know, it's just cold, and it happens. It's like that in the movie industry too. It's like if it's not a superhero movie, or it's not a IP that's already been put together. And I mean, like even like the 2 most popular movies this year were Mario, an IP that already exists, and Barbie, and like I don't know, something like I don't know, but
Oppenheimer as well, I guess.
I think
Oh,
part of
that IP is so old.
It's so
to be fair,
the Albert Einstein crossover is what sold it.
Oh, that the
and
multiverse.
even that Oppenheimer, great movie. It's an adaptation of a book and a guy's life, so it's just like, you know what I mean. But and this movie, I mean, this game's a freaking a joke on a bunch of movies, but you play them as a game. But I don't know, it's an interesting conversation. I wish
I have a solution. We need to bring back THQ, and not this THQ Nordic. We need the THQ back. We need those fucking SpongeBob games back. We need this game back. We need the old WWE games back. All THQ, baby. Let's
give me that.
Fucking go.
Give me that toy headquarters, baby.
Oh,
yeah, give me those 4-player co-op SpongeBob Nicktoons Unite games.
Oh man. Oh,
everybody's sharing one GameCube, 4 controllers. See, I'm telling you, they'll make them like they used to. I'm not even saying those games are very good. Those games are exactly what they need to be, like Tom said.
Exactly.
But that's my favorite part about doing this, is being able to have those like discussions that just came up. So
yeah, and like I mean, we keep comparing to Hollywood, but it is really relevant. Like all these producers can't wait for these big budget superhero movies to die off because they cost so much. They take up all the resources. There aren't enough like people in VFX to even like make them, really.
Yeah. And they all look like shit too.
Yeah, they put in all this budget, and they're not going to spend like $400,000 like on development and marketing all told to make 500,000 or not. I said 100,000, 100 million.
I was like
500 million.
Cheap,
yeah,
cheap movie.
You're not looking to make only like 100 million profit. You want like $500 million in profit, and that's kind of like how all these games are going.
Mm-hmm.
Like I played San Andreas, GTA San Andreas for the first time, and then I played GTA 4. I started that just recently, and the jump between San Andreas in like that era to GTA 4 is immense.
Mm-hmm.
But the jump from there to 5 is really not that big, like graphically. Like it's not, you don't play 5 and get impressed after coming from 4 the way you do going to 4 from San Andreas. And looking at like the rest of the games that have been coming out, like everything kind of looks like GTA 4. Like the fidelity and the impressiveness is all kind of stayed the same because everyone keeps pumping money and resources in these big budget games. They're just too afraid to like make something that's just like a Stuntman Ignition, where it doesn't look realistic because it doesn't need to. And if we could get at least, I don't even need a brand new game. Port it to PC and open up the mod tools and just let people make more movies. That
Batman
would be
mod.
amazing.
Oh yeah, for sure. Batman mod. Yeah. It's an interesting conversation. I just hope that, a lot of, the people who make those decisions see that, open up some creativity, make some fun stuff. Just if you see that the team is having fun, it's probably gonna be a game that people enjoy. But I feel like modern day game development studios just seem like a nightmare. People hate their job. People are crunched. People don't even enjoy what they're making, and
Yeah,
it's
reflected in the games they make too. Like, there's no soul to like any of this.
Yeah, and this game is the antithesis to that. I'm not saying this is the greatest game ever, but I think it's from a different era, and I think it's neat for that.
Yeah, I think I think we've literally talked about it on the show, but I hope that games like Tears of the Kingdom and like Elden Ring and all that being popular shows that it's like, hey everybody, like this is how single player games should be, where it's like they're incredibly popular and they're very like they're not like most of these like AAA Ubisoft games, where it's like the same shit every time. And I will say your point about this era is why I love collecting 360 so much, is because there's so much like fun stuff that you would never find in like any other like bargain bin or whatever of like Xbox One and above. It's always just like the most like interesting stuff where you pick up a game you've literally never seen before and you like look at the box and you're like, oh okay, and it's like $3 and you're like, okay, and you give it a shot.
And 360 might be the perfect era for that too, because it was before like it was the first HD era, but it was before like game budgets were so inflated that there were still a lot of like studios out there making different kind of games, but they still play more similarly to modern games than like a PS2 game or a PS1 game. So
it's like
it's almost like the perfect mix. That game sucks. Fuck that game.
Oh my god.
Big Air Stoked Edition.
If Big Air came out nowadays, it'd be in the laughing stock of, you'd know everything about it. It'd be like Riot to Hell Retribution,
Oh my god.
which is a 360 game, but that's like late.
And that
2012.
was THQ as well. Or no, that was Quicksilver, who they like. It was THQ, but then Quicksilver.
Oh, Deep Silver, you mean?
Deep Silver. Oh my god.
Yeah, they're the ones who just went under. Or Deep Silver Evolution went under.
Wah, wah, wah.
But yeah, the bargain.
Another one
bin
bites the
was
dust, unfortunately.
an interesting time back then. Nowadays, I mean, God, nowadays, if there even were bargain bins anymore, it'd be like the safest, blandest crap.
It is, yeah, it is.
Bargain bins are exclusively outdated games as a service games and sports games.
Destiny.
That's
Yeah.
a fact.
There's a reason why I was able to get Destiny 2 for 1 cent, and I bought like 20 copies because I just wanted to code a
Do it. You did a good service.
Oh, I would love to frisbee. I would throw them at you guys. Every time I have a lot of something, I'm gonna throw it.
I think the last time I got bargain bin stuff from like GameStop was like Puyo Puyo Tetris 2. I don't fucking know. I think I got Skyrim.
We're waiting. I'm just joking.
No, it's like it's not exciting. It's like not interesting.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
okay.
exactly. It's just bland.
Yeah, I mean Puyo Puyo Tetris 2 is pretty fun.
Oh
it's
yeah,
fun.
don't get me wrong, it's fun, but like, it's still a puzzle game that's a sequel to another puzzle game. So how much can you do with that?
I didn't need it. No.
So
You needed it.
that's Stuntman Ignition. Talked about everything I wanted to talk about. Did you guys have any final thoughts that we didn't go over?
I loved the weird stunt award show stuff. And that's what I wanted to bring up because I realized it's not an Oscar award that you're going for. It's the stunt show award that you want to get.
And it's real.
So did you guys do research about these?
No, I just watched the
looked into it
video.
a long time ago.
Oh, I did too. I researched it back in May, and I forgot everything.
I just know Arnold Schwarzenegger was in the extras menu, and I was like, "Hell, this is sweet." I was like, "I want to go to this." They do stunts.
I'm pretty sure like, yeah, 2019. There's 2020 was the last one that looks like they did, according to Wikipedia.
Yeah. Oh, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood was.
Mm-hmm.
I don't, are these just nominations or did they win anything? Oh no. Okay, so Once Upon a Time in Hollywood won Best Fight, Best High Work, Best Specialty Stunt, Best Overall Stunt by a Stuntman.
Oh, interesting.
Ford versus Ferrari, very relevant to the game, won Best Work with a Vehicle. And honestly, if all of them are like the little video that they had in the game, where like the people are crashing through the ceiling and stuff, and it's just like so self-aware and hilarious. Like I'd much rather watch that than anything.
I want to
the
go.
Oscars could.
I want to go.
You want to go?
Be in it. I want to go. You guys want to go?
Yeah, why not?
Dude,
If they
Hell
make them
yeah.
again, that's the thing though. To make a stunt award show, you need to make movies that have stunts
Yeah.
worthy of giving awards, and like
They're
damn
barely
it, they
making
don't make
movies anymore.
just have
Yeah.
just have Steve-O win every year for like the stuff he does on his YouTube channel. That's not a
Best-
movie though.
Best person in mocap suit on wires with a green background.
Andy Serkis award.
Yeah. my
Oh
my
my
final
God.
thought on this game is this game's Pog.
It's very pog.
What's your final thought, Toby?
I'll just say this. When I got 5 stars on one of the hoot and hollering scenes, I think one of my favorite quotes in the whole game took place. I think when the guys was like, "Oh man, that scene was incredible. This movie's probably gonna suck." And then the other guy said, and the other guy said, "It probably will." And that was the best. Oh, but at least we got this one scene, yeah.
It probably will.
Toby, that was the best. That was the best.
Oh, we just peaked.
That was beautiful.
All right. Joe, do you want to announce what your game choice is next?
Yeah. Well, well, real quick, the game was good. I liked it. I think that the thing with the scoring got me a little bit, but honestly, like the Night Avenger stuff and whenever the James Bond wasn't like horrible to play through. And some of the commercials like brought me back to the charm of it. And I sort of was better. Like the scoring annoyed me a lot in the beginning, I'm not gonna lie, but as the game went on, I started to enjoy it more. And I do like how you don't need to string everything in order to unlock everything. I feel like it needs to be said, like as long as you play every level, you'll just unlock everything naturally. So like I wasn't forced to do the stringing if I didn't want to, which is good. But
Are
yeah,
we gonna have to force you to announce the next game, Joe?
yeah. Well,
You don't have to if you don't want to.
maybe a worse game was Super Mario 64 DS.
Why is it worse? Oh,
I don't know.
what the fuck? Okay.
We
well,
don't
I guess
know.
we're
We don't
fighting-
know.
We're fighting on the next episode, apparently.
No, we didn't. We don't know.
No.
We don't know.
We don't know.
I've never played it. Of course I've played it.
The mini games are
Back-
so good.
Back to Nintendo. Back to comfort
Yeah,
zone. Woo!
bread and butter. But yeah, we definitely need to watch Die Another Day so you can see how well this game, to a T, parodied that movie. Anyways, thank you guys again. I'm sorry about how long the delay was. It won't be that long again because, trust me, we're gonna put together a date for when we'll all finish the next game and all talk about it. It should be the 4 of us and Gracie, I have to imagine. So thank you guys again. We will see you very, very soon, and maybe we'll put together a different way of recording these in the near future. Gracie and I might also do a Frenemies episode too, so we'll see. But thank you again, Tom. Thanks for choosing this game. It's fun to be able to try out these kind of games, and this is why we do it. So I think I'll come back to this game. So
I'm glad I picked a non-Nintendo game and everyone had fun.
Wow.
I'm curious what Toby's next choice will be. I hope he chooses like the most obscure game I've ever heard of.
I won't do that. I feel like some of the
Castlevania, Nintendo 64.
No,
Yeah.
I might not
I
be
have-
on that one.
I have veto rights.
Oh,
Maybe I'll just pick some
just joking.
shovelware game I got from some random Steam bundle or something.
I'm just joking.
Nintendo Labo, like something you have to like go out and buy, like this kind of
and
pricey.
you have to get it new.
Yeah, you gotta get it new. It's kind of
Fuck
pricey.
you guys. All right, we'll see you next time. Thank you guys. Welcome to the Club Gamer Book Club.
All right.
Yeah. You know what would be a great game too is because you mentioned Driver earlier. Is Driver San Francisco, but that game's really expensive.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's delisted and it's expensive physically. It's like $50. So